Happening tonight, Hartford Public Schools is inviting community members to discuss next year's budget. The district has been calling on the city to help fund its nearly $75 million deficit. And now the state is saying the district actually has a surplus of money. Amanda Callahan is your reporter live in Hartford tonight to explain. Amanda.
Well, Erin, certainly a disagreement here. School leaders say the district is in the hole tens of millions of dollars, not just for next school year, but for the year after as well. However, the State Board of Education says that Hartford will have a $2.5 million surplus next school year. Now, the main discrepancy in this funding is coming over special education funding. The State Board of Ed says Hartford schools will see below budget when it comes to special education costs next year. But the district says there has been no communication with the state, and it's unclear what data was used to come up with that number. The district stands by that next year there is a projected $22 million deficit and then another projected $45 million deficit the year after. The Hartford Board of Education has been asking the mayor to use the city's rainy day fund to close that funding gap, but he has said no. Now tonight, the superintendent and chief financial officer will be joined by parents and community members to talk about what's next for the school system and to look into where that State Board of Education is finding a surplus. The State Board of Education said this uncertainty is a problem and that they're going to have an independent financial audit on the school district here in Hartford. That community forum starts in about 20 minutes at 5:30, and all community members are welcome to join. Reporter live in Hartford, Amanda Callahan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Amanda, thank you very, very much.